Hey everyone, it's Steph. For today's video, I really wanted to talk about something I'm seeing a lot. A lot of contracts, the seller states, home is sold as is. And so I really wanted to break down what that means, or at least what we can assume it means, since there's some confusion around it and it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. First thing first, in Arizona, we already are an as-is state. What does that mean? That means that we don't have to bring, unlike other states, we don't have to bring a home like up to today's code. You're allowed to sell your house in whatever physical condition it's currently in. It's okay if things are broken. A seller just has to disclose it. And in Section 5, I have this enormous copy of the Arizona State Purchase Contract. So in Section 5 under warranties, it says buyer and seller agree the premises are being sold in its present physical condition as of the date of contract acceptance. Then it goes on to say seller makes no warranty to buyer, either express or implied, as to the condition, zoning, or fitness of any particular use or purpose of premises. And then it says in Section 5B, seller warrants that seller has disclosed to buyer and brokers all material latent defects and any information concerning the premises known to seller. And it goes on. So what does that mean? That means in Arizona, a seller is allowed to sell a house in whatever condition it's in, but they are required to disclose any defects they know about the house. So when a home is put on the market and the listing agent and the seller adds in the as is clause, it's sort of like, yeah, we know we're an as is state. The home is in its present physical condition. What it is generally understood to mean is that the seller doesn't want to make any repairs or give you any credit, which I think is how something should be written. If a house is an estate, there's family member involved, they don't know a lot about the house, they just need to sell it, maybe there's not funds to do any kind of repairs even though they know it needs a lot of work, then that home really is being sold as is, and the seller is not doing any repairs, credits, et cetera, et cetera. So what that means to buyers is that you should take that into account when you are making an offer on a house. Generally, if something says as is and my buyer's interested in it, I'm going to call and I'm going to say, are they saying they don't do any repairs? Because it could also mean that maybe they're saying that we're not going to disclose properly, or we don't know enough about the house to make all the disclosures. So nothing in the contract or in writing as is into a listing takes away the seller's responsibility to disclose anything they know that's wrong with the house. So I've got a copy of this. This is the seller's disclosure statement. This is what every seller has to fill out before they sell a house. And it says, we call it the SPUDS, Seller's Disclosure Advisory. So the SPUDS is designed to assist you, the seller, in making these legally required disclosures and to avoid inadvertent non-disclosures of material facts. And then it goes on to say, if the buyer asks you about an aspect of the property, you have a duty to disclose the information, even if you do not consider this information material. So in Arizona, we are an as-is state. If as is also written into a listing, that generally means that the seller doesn't want to do any repairs or offer any credit. So take that into account when you're making an offer. However, even if a house is being sold as is, even though it already is, the buyer still has all their rights to the inspections, to do all of your due diligence, to get a copy of the SPUDS and the loss history insurance report from the seller. You still have all those rights, and to back out if at the end of your inspection period you ask for repairs or a credit in lieu of repairs and the seller says no, you still maintain all your rights. And a seller still has to make all their disclosures. So it's a little bit confusing. I think that we get away with sort of using terms where we think we know what they mean. But if you see that written somewhere, it is time for your buyer's agent to have a conversation with the listing agent to really get what does this mean to this seller, just because it is a bit of a gray area. So you always want to make sure you're still getting your disclosures and that the seller doesn't think that you are waiving your rights to inspections or to ask for repairs, because that's definitely not what it means. So anyway, I hope that clears things up. And if you have any questions, or you're looking for a house and you run into weird phrases in a listing, just give me a call, and I will help walk you through it all. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye.